No, we all have busy lives, and President Trump has a busy life, and I don't think he realizes how much she's humiliated the administration. This is a self-inflicted wound. She caused it. Again, I have nothing against Pam Bondi, but if you want to look for the villain in this story, we have found her. She is the person she's either lying now or she was lying then. There's no two ways about it.
So, but Megyn, you make a very astute point, and let me add to it, which is that she also brought in some of our best influencers, people that I care about deeply. Jack Posobiec, who's incredible, Libs of TikTok, Chaya, DC Drano.
Yeah.
And she gave them these binders, and she humiliated them.
Yeah.
And you guys know what I'm talking about? Where she did this stuff with the binders?
This?
And
yes.
You guys were upset, but you shouldn't be upset at the influencers. They were handed these binders like there was something incredible in them.
It is what you would do to an enemy. It would have been a brilliant operation had she loathed them and been looking to undermine them. The trick would have been perfect had this been Joe Biden's White House doing this to some of President Trump's most loyal supporters and media advocates. What happened was they invited all of them there to say hi to the vice president, to say hi to the president. Sure, they all went, of course. Who wouldn't go? To the White House to say hello to Trump? They didn't expect anything on Epstein. So they went, they said hello, and before they knew it, they were pulled into a room with Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, and she had made the binders. She bragged about making the cover sheet that read Epstein Files, Phase 1, and she handed them out. And what Liz Wheeler, who was there, told me was that she told them, there's not that much in here, but another trove is coming. I'm going to get it from the FBI, but here's Phase 1. Flash forward 14 hours earlier to when she was on with Jesse Waters on Fox News saying, oh, you're going to see some Epstein documents tomorrow. She knew they were bullshit. She knew that there was nothing in there. She told the influencers when she gave it to them, there's really nothing in here. I'm going to try to get you more. And in the meantime, then they funneled them out the back of the White House where all the press corps was. And the influencers are standing there with these binders. They didn't even know they were there for Epstein, and they looked foolish through no fault of their own. The only fault was they trusted her.
And these are some of our best people that we should have their back. Liz Wheeler's amazing, Jack Posobiec.
Yes.
And
she dinged their credibility for no reason.
100%. And did they ever get an apology for that?
No.
That was Charlie Kirk and Megyn Kelly carrying water for Trump as the White House continues to be plagued by the fallout surrounding the Epstein debacle. And I say carrying water for Trump on purpose, because clearly the talking points have gone out, wherein the MAGA universe has decided that the villain of this story is not Donald Trump, but rather Attorney General Pam Bondi. Now, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. Pam Bondi is not the ultimate authority here, and anybody who truly wants to get to the truth about Epstein would not delude themselves into thinking the villain is Bondi. She is a mere appendage of Trump. She takes her orders from him. She has zero autonomy. If information is being withheld here, it is on his orders. So if you're pretending that Bondi is the ultimate authority here, then you care more about protecting Trump than you do about exposing the truth about Epstein. In fact, here's a point that I made on air on Piers Morgan's show. We've seen Dan Bongino and Kash Patel focus so much energy, so many resources, so much time on this exact issue, only for them to come out and say, oh, well, there's absolutely nothing here. But I would also caution, Natalie, to not put the onus, because I've been seeing this more and more on the right, to not put all of the responsibility on Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is an appendage of Donald Trump. She is not calling the shots. Nobody in this administration is calling the shots. This entire cabinet, this entire White House exists to serve Donald Trump. They exist to basically be extensions of Trump himself, and no one will ever act independently of him. And so if accountability is really what you're looking for here, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that this is all being done in good faith, then let's not delude ourselves into thinking that Pam Bondi is the final word or that the buck stops with her when the buck always stops with Donald Trump. So keep an eye out for who people focus their ire on. If people are pretending that Bondi is the villain here, then they are more focused on protecting Trump than they are about getting to the truth about Epstein. Kirk goes on to explain how Bondi humiliated these influencers as if they have no agency here, as if they didn't wave around their binders on their own free will. And you know where I got that video, by the way? On Charlie Kirk's own tweet, where he wrote, "The Epstein Files Phase 1, it's happening." That right there is why there is so much deflection going on, because those people need someone to blame to take the responsibility off of themselves. But remember, none of these people are children. They are grown-ass adults. You don't get to cry victim just because you got caught lying. Pam Bondi did not force you all to flash your binders for the cameras. She didn't force you all to smile. She certainly didn't force you all to post on Twitter, and yet that didn't stop people like Charlie Kirk and Jack Posobiec and libs of TikTok's Chea Raichik from posting anyway. Of course, now that they got caught laundering Trump's lies, they suddenly crawl into the fetal position and pretend that they're the victims here, but they're not, no matter how much they bitch and moan. Like, let's think about this logically for a moment. What does Pam Bondi have to gain by covering up the Epstein list? Now think about what her immediate boss, Donald Trump, might have to gain by covering up the Epstein list. Compare those two people, think long and hard, and now tell me which one is truly responsible for failing to release the client list. And while you're pondering that question, I'll leave you with this. Here's some footage that may or may not help move your thought process along. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on this screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.